The tropical system, you do not necessarily see a lot of hail reports. And again, we're on the far outer fringes of this tropical system, but it's still something that is noticeable. Okay, so again, we have that. That was going back to about 124. Now, the present look at the radar, not nearly as impressive as it was a couple of minutes ago. So we'll go back over to traditional radar. We'll zoom out really quickly, and I want to give a broad overview here, and we'll send it back over to a regular scheduled programming here. I know we're in the middle of NBC News Daily. But I do want to give you a heads up and a first alert to these storms as they are making their way off towards the north and east at about 20 miles per hour. So put another storm track on this, about 20 miles per hour to the north and east. And this is going to be, down the road. We're not talking about immediate, but again, over Hickory With and over Hickory With Road, rather. That's Tennessee Highway 196. Eventually moves out towards the north and east, and you see they're paring down that warning. They've clipped out other parts of Shelby County out of that. So Lakeland's out of the warning at this present moment, and Arlington still technically inside the warning. It looks like the storm itself probably sitting right on the Shelby and Fayette County line. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to try to pull up that TDOT camera that's sitting there at Hickory With Road and I-40, and hopefully we'll get that up here in just a second. And if we can see what that looks like, we can give you a better perspective. It looks like those are all down up there, so maybe some power outages here within the last couple of minutes up that way, so that may be an issue for you. Spencer Denton's here with us as well, as we are still kind of tracking this one storm out of here this afternoon. And of course, not only that storm, we got more on the way potentially later today.
Yeah, that's right. And Patrick, you've been tracking this storm. I saw it as I was coming in from northeast develop over Arlington and Bartlett and continue to push east. And again, as Patrick has been mentioning, this cell continues to push into northwest Fayette County. Again, high wind, the main threat. But like he said, it looks like this is weakening quite a bit across parts of northeast Shelby County and into northwest Fayette County. It doesn't look like the wind is as strong with this. It has tried to pull out a little bit of a hook at times, but still nothing as far as a tornado threat with this right now. And as Patrick puts a track on it, you can see 206 Lambert, so that's in northern parts of Fayette County. But again, we're watching this storm closely for you here in the First Alert Weather Center and tracking it just in case there is a potential for a tornado threat. Right now, though, again, severe thunderstorm warning that continues, and that's the only one across the entire Mid-South. So this storm popped up over central Shelby County and pushed east. Other storms over northern Arkansas, not much to our south. So really, I think once we get this cell out of the way, it looks pretty good for the next several hours, although as the main remnants of what's left of Beryl move into the Mid-South late tonight. Again, we are going to watch for a brief spin up, and there it is. That's the big system that we're talking about over southeast Texas. That's Tropical Storm Beryl, still very intense wind, and also several tornado warnings on the east side of this system as it makes its way through western and central Arkansas. That's what we're going to have to watch out for later tonight. But man, that's a lot of tornado warnings that you see there in red. This is East Texas, parts of western Louisiana as well. And again, those tornado warnings for several parishes in some of those areas of East Texas. So this will impact parts of the Mid-South. This is the same system. So we're basically getting some of the initial thunderstorm activity ahead of the main system here in the Mid-South. And as that comes in later tonight, I think eastern Arkansas, areas along the river may have to contend with a few potential severe thunderstorm warnings or even a tornado warning or two. But for now, we have this one severe thunderstorm warning. It looks like this warning the storm is moving out of Shelby County, so the threat is over pretty much. There's a little sliver of Shelby that may still be seeing some wind or very intense rain, of course, and then a lot of lightning with this, but this is moving into Galloway, and it really looks like, I'd say 40 to 50 mile per hour winds are the main risk with this as it moves into northern Fayette. But again, most of Shelby all clear as of right now. And there's the little outflow boundary that you can see from that storm showing up in southern Shelby right now. So as Patrick mentioned, We're watching this storm closely. Don't see any signs of any kind of rotation with it right now. It looks like just mainly a wind event as it moves out of Arlington and into parts of northwest Shelby County along I-40. So we'll keep a close eye on this system. Probably send you back to programming here in just a second. But again, the heaviest rain and wind moving into northwest Shelby County. Patrick, you have anything else to add before we go back to programming?
Yeah, I was just going to say, the last thing that we got was ping pong ball size hail, which, as I mentioned, very odd for a tropical system. We're on the far outer flung reaches of a tropical system, and to see that large of hail. Now, granted, we got a lot of instability in the atmosphere, don't get me wrong, but for something that is still technically connected to a tropical system, that's not something that we would normally see. So very interesting to note that came in. About, let's see here, that was 125, and I think that's what actually prompted the warning. Well, on top of the fact that, the winds just blew out very quickly, so I wouldn't be surprised if we did have some power outages here within the last little bit. I'm going to check the MLGW numbers and see what we got going on there. It looks like we've got about 705 homes and businesses without power, and the core of that is in the Lakeland area. So, we've got probably about, let's see here, probably about 400 of them in the Lakeland area. So that makes some sense. And so I wouldn't be surprised if there were some power outages due to the strong storm potential and the winds moving through there.
All right, thanks a lot, Patrick. And yeah, like you mentioned, it's very odd to see hail reported with these type systems. So yeah, we did see some small hail with this. Also seeing some brief downbursts of winds as it pushed through, but now it's pushing out. And the severe part of this looks like it is pretty much over for Shelby County. So we're watching this tropical system closely as Beryl moves toward the mid-south. We'll have updates throughout the afternoon. It's about 330 miles away right now. We're watching it closely. We'll have updates at 3:30, 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock for you coming up on Action News 5 on television and on digital. And if any other warnings are issued, we will let you know. We're watching the weather. We'll keep you advised.